Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Straight Talk Whiskey. I'm Nick here with you as always, and thanks for joining us for episode number 82. As you can tell, we're in a different location than usual. I have since moved out of my location in Philadelphia and have moved on. Today we're in upstate New York, so got the beautiful Hudson River Valley sort of in the background. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's what we're doing. So for episode number 82, following along with what we did last time around, which was High West American Prairie Bourbon for episode 81. I was going to change it up, but then decided just to stick with High West. So today we have the Double Rye, and Double Rye because it is a blend of straight rye whiskeys, so aged at least 2 years. So the two, I guess, sort of spectrums of the ryes that are in this, you have the very young, the 2-year-old rye whiskey, and then you have anywhere up to 16-year-old. So the proportions of that are in here, not sure, they're not letting us know that for good reason, but we do know that the younger comes from a 95% rye base with 5% malted barley, and that comes from MGP. And then from Barton Distillery, they have and I hope I get this right, a 53% rye, 37% corn, and what does that leave us with? 13% malted barley, something like that. Or 53 rye, 37 corn, 10 malted barley. That sounds right. I can add. So anyway, that's what we got going on there. As far as proof, we have 46% ABV, batch number 17,006, it looks like. It's quite the high note. So anyway, they set out originally with this Double Rye. You'll notice there's also the exclamation point there on the end of it, is they wanted to create the spiciest rye that they could have. And so getting the really spicy rye, the spices that you get from the younger whiskey, tone that down with a little bit more of the oakier, subtler tones of vanilla and fruit that you get with the older ryes. Blend those together and then you get the Double Rye. So let's go in for the notes. Getting a lot of grain forwardness in it. It's really light, it's fragrant, it's got just this really cereal note to it. Definitely strong cinnamon, nutmeg, some clove in there. I'm getting some red hot candies, which I've noticed in the past from some ryes. Namely the Redemption Rye that I reviewed, I believe had that note as well. There's something also gin-like to it in the sense that you get some really fresh, crisp notes, almost like mint, evergreen mint, not fir tree, spruce trees, pine needles, that sort of thing, which is really interesting. So anyway, let's go in for the taste. Spicy they wanted, and spicy they did get. But first, what you get is just this really rich, deep cinnamon brown sugar, vanilla. I'm getting almost the creaminess of like Cadbury egg filling. Some dark chocolate in there. Definitely some mint that I got there on the nose. Little tobacco leaf, little smoke in there, which is nice. And then that moves into this fruitiness. I'm getting raspberries, strawberries, blueberry pie, and then it's moving into the spicier notes. They're really spry, spruce tree, sort of know the oakiness, the tannins in the wood are coming up there. I keep saying spruce tree, what I really mean is pine. The smell of like fresh pine needles. I don't know why the hell I keep saying spruce tree. But anyway, you know what it is? It's because I don't have the Straight Talk whiskey shirt. I don't know where that went in the move. Somewhere. I know they set out for something really spicy, but what I think they got is something far more in depth. Just getting a lot of flavors of like caramel, vanilla, and such. Sorry, people walking by trying to distract me. But you're getting these really like candied notes that the Red Hot Dollar that I mentioned before is coming through a little bit on the taste. Not so much as it was in the nose, but it's still there. And anyway, so what they've created is something more of just going out for the spiciest rye they can imagine. But something that's just overtly complex in the best possible way, mixing so many flavors. You could just sit here and sip it, and maybe glass after glass you could pull up something different every time, something new. But this would be a great sipping whiskey. I think they mentioned on their site, maybe even on the back here, that it's good for, you know, mixing drinks with a Manhattan or Old Fashioned if you do that. I'm not really well versed with those drinks because I don't make a lot of cocktails and I don't order them a lot when I go to the bar. I tend to just drink it straight, but for those of us, if you're like me who just drink it straight, it's perfect for that. It's perfect sipping whiskey. Definitely can see this around the campfire. Hopefully, one of the next whiskeys we taste will be the High West Campfire. But you know, I wanted to go and, you know, go back to Irish whiskey, go back to Scotch, something like that. But after, you know, last time just tasting High West, I just wanted to keep going through, see how many bottles I could find in the area, because it's just so good. What they've been able to create there is just phenomenal. Hoping to visit someday. So that's it for episode number 82. I don't have my scoreboard with me. I'm going to give it a 95 out of 100. Hands down, it's probably up there with some of the best rye that I have tasted before. I pair it up there with Dad's Hat Rye, although some of their ryes that I'm really putting it up there against had some finishings with it, so you're not totally in the same league. Also Whistle Pig, which I love, but you know, my wallet, you know, jumps off a bridge every time I want to try to buy a bottle of that. But anyway, it's definitely up there, 95 out of 100. If you've had this before, any of the other of the High West expressions, especially some that are really hard to find, let me know what you paid for it, how it tastes, that sort of thing. Give me your experience on it, because I love your stories and I love your comments and feedback. So yeah, until next time, see you later.